And other than the pain funnel questions and stuff that people could get in the material, do you have a favorite way to make it conversational and in your personal selling, a favorite question to start the conversation or to end the conversation, or get a
Yeah.
level deeper in the middle somewhere?
So now we're getting into dangerous territory because I'm going to bring in another tactic. And I think the easiest way to get pain is to have a great upfront contract.
Hmm.
Um, my upfront contract starts with, if we were sitting down together, I would say, okay, Mike, I appreciate the fact that you've put an hour on the calendar with me today. Um, this is obviously going to come to an end. And when you are logging off or walking out of here and you're thinking, wow, I'm really glad I had that conversation with Emily. It was super productive. What do we talk about? Right? Or what will make this conversation a productive use of your hour? What's going to be important for me to cover? And then they give you all of their pain indicators there, and you just pick
Hmm.
one and ask, tell me about that. Why that one? It's pretty simple. So no flashy techniques or Jedi mind tricks over here.
Yeah, I think that's really one of my favorites too. That's what I was thinking. The tell me more about that seems to work in my personal life, in podcast interviews and sales interviews, wherever I
Yep.
am, and just be like, that sounds important. Tell me more about that.
Hmm.
And people expand and tell you more, and usually give you something to latch on to for a follow up question as well. I would say one of the other ones that's tricky for me, and I didn't learn it until I was watching another Sandler trainer on a call, but getting them to quantify the pain is another part that's important in the middle there. So if they go, none of my sellers can, close the door. They can't sell anything. And you go, well, none of them? You don't have anybody selling anything on your team? Like how many? You got 10 people. How many of them would you say are actually bad at that? Or how many deals are falling off the table? And they go, well, all of them. Well, all of them's not a number. Give me like what? How much? How many? How big are these deals? How often is it happening? And getting really specific, I think, in these questions really helps you sound like an expert, that you know what you're talking about. It helps them quantify and think through. And I was working with it was Big Brothers Big Sisters, actually, that I was on a call with one of the other trainers, and they work with thousands of people and leaders and coaches and big brothers and big sisters around the country. And you go, well, how many of them would you say do a good job of asking questions or listening skills or something like that? And you have to start thinking about it then and go a level deeper when you ask the quantification questions.
Which is another form of helping your prospect gain clarity to determine what it is that they need to do to solve the problem. And so thinking about quantification as another way that you're going to help someone cut through the smoke. Because we can go back to those really big decisions we've had to make in our personal lives. It's pretty easy from a cognitive bias standpoint to dismiss some information as no big deal, or I'll deal with that tomorrow. Or
Yeah.
we've got this dismissive bias on, well, it's probably only happened a couple times. And then you go back and you're like, oh, it's happened 19 times. Okay. Right. Once you've realized that, it's a lot easier to confidently make a decision. And when I think about people being elusive, I think sometimes sellers think, oh, prospects just don't want to give me pain. They don't want to tell me things. They don't want to be vulnerable. That could be for sure. But it could be that this is a really challenging fix for them and it's going to require a lot of work. And they've got some hesitancy and concern that they're going to make the wrong decision.
Yeah.
Or that it's going to take so much, or they're going to tax so many people with the overhaul that everyone's going to be mad at them. There's so many things that could be going on that um, none of which have anything to do with you as a salesperson, likely, and how they feel about you as a salesperson. But again, that I just find that that language even is salespeople focused on themselves again, right? These people don't want to tell me, no. How could you show up for these people and help them, get through that for even just themselves? I tell my prospects often, the worst thing for you to come out of this process with is not hiring me. The worst thing for you here is making no decision at all and doing nothing. So my job is to help you gain clarity enough to make a decision so that you're not stuck here anymore. And if that's me and I'm blessed enough to help you, great. If it's not, That's okay too. My goal is to make sure you get what you need and you're not stuck any longer.